If you're anything like me, you've probably found yourself scrolling through endless anime recommendation videos, only to see the same names again and again. Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan. They're great, sure, but what about the stories that slip through the cracks? In this video, I want to do something different. I'll be sharing 10 anime that I've personally watched and truly connected with. No overhyped titles, no repeats. Just underrated gems that deserve more love. And let's begin. At first glance, 86 looks like your typical futuristic war story. Giant machines, high-tech battles, a nation at war. But don't let that fool you. This anime isn't just about war, it's about the people crushed beneath it. The Republic of San Magnolia claims it's winning the war against the Legion with 0 human casualties. Behind the scenes, a persecuted group called the 86 are forced into battle, stripped of their names, their identities, even their humanity. Kind of remind me of Attack on Titan, but this anime is easily 9 out of 10. In a sleepy coastal town, one kid carries an entire junior high football team on his back. Ashito Aoi. He's flashy, reckless, and wildly talented, but also a bit of a loose cannon. During a critical match, his temper explodes, and just like that, he's benched. The team loses. Dreams shattered, game over, but fate has other plans. A mysterious coach named Fukuda, watching from the sidelines, sees something in Ashito others missed. Raw talent with professional potential. He offers him a shot, a tryout in Tokyo. Now imagine going from being the best in your hometown to being just another face in a sea of elite players, all gunning for the same dream. If you're into grounded stories with character-driven growth, high-stakes competition, and that prove yourself or go home energy, Aoashi is a must-watch. What if you could go back, literally, and fix everything? Arata Kaizaki is 27, unemployed, and floating through life with nothing to hold on to. His first job broke him, and ever since, he's been stuck in this endless cycle of disappointment, until one night, a man offers him a pill that can make him 17 again. No strings attached, just 1 year in high school to reset his life. Sounds easy, right? Except it's not. Arata quickly realizes he's not some wise adult in a teenager's body. But this isn't just about second chances, it's about connection. As he begins to learn more about his classmates, their pain, their fears, their dreams, real life becomes something more than just a do-over. It's grounded, and it hits hard if you've ever wished for a restart in your own life. We all take it for granted today. The Earth revolves around the sun. But back in medieval Europe, that idea could literally get you killed. Orb, on the movements of the Earth, throws you straight into a world where knowledge is dangerous. Imagine scholars risking their lives just to study the truth, labeled heretics, hunted by the church, and punished for daring to think differently. It's dark, it's intense, and it pulls no punches. There's no single protagonist. Instead, it follows a rotating cast of characters, each with their own story, their own stake in this rebellion of thought. Every episode leaves you wondering, will they be burned at the stake or live long enough to write one more equation? Think Death Note, but instead of names in a notebook, they're scribbling scientific theories that could cost them their lives. It's philosophical, it's gripping, and honestly, it's one of the most unexpected gems. 2 teenagers, codenamed 9 and 12, detonate bombs across Tokyo. Sounds insane, right? Now here's the twist. They're not in it for destruction. They're playing a deadly game of chess with the government. Each move carefully planned, each explosion wrapped in a riddle only the clever can solve. Behind the chaos lies a story of buried trauma, failed systems, and a desperate cry to be heard. Enter Shibazaki, a washed-up detective with more intuition than authority. He's the only one who sees past the bombs and riddles and starts peeling back the truth, layer by haunting layer. Oh, and then there's Lisa. Poor Lisa. Caught between her toxic home life and 2 teenage terrorists who kind of kidnapped her, but also kind of didn't. It's complicated. The animation? Gorgeous. The soundtrack? Next level. The plot? Starts with a bang, ends with heartbreak. Only 11 episodes, but it hits like a full-course psychological thriller. Terror and Resonance isn't just about what they did, it's about why. and that why will stay with you long after it's over. This show was something completely unique and refreshing to anime. Seriously, I wasn't expecting it to go this hard. Our main character Momo gets kidnapped in the very first episode. Off to a strong start, right? But what really got me hooked wasn't the drama, it was her. When she's forced to work at the Imperial Palace, she stays completely calm. No panic, no rebellion, just locked in. She's like, I'll stay here for 2 years, do my job, and go home. That's it. And honestly, that level-headedness, I loved it. Because we're so used to emotional, reactive characters, but Momo, she's a thinker. She reminds you how emotions can cloud judgment, and it makes her stand out like crazy. But hey, if we all thought like her, we wouldn't be human either. So, I get both sides. This anime is a banger. The pacing, the tone, the character depth, it's way better than aura farming solo leveling. Yeah, I said it. It's better, okay? So here's how it goes. An insanely fast tentacle being destroys the moon, then drops into Earth like, yo, I'm gonna destroy the planet in a year unless these high school kids can assassinate me first. And where does he teach? A bunch of misfit students no one else believes in. What starts off as a wild premise turns into something genuinely moving. Every episode mixes absurd comedy, life or death action, and surprisingly deep life lessons. Like, who knew an alien teacher could school you in self-worth, purpose, and forgiveness? By the end, you're not just watching a class try to kill their teacher, you're watching them learn how to live. And that final arc, yeah, that one hurts. Mob Psycho 100 is honestly one of the wildest rides I've been on. It might seem like your typical over-the-top action series, but it's way more than that. The animation, next level. Like the kind of quality that makes your jaw drop mid-fight. Every punch, every psychic explosion feels like a mini masterpiece in motion. But the real twist? It's also one of the funniest anime I've seen. Mob's blank expression, Reagan being, well, Reagan, and the absurd situations somehow work perfectly with the emotional weight the story carries. It switches from goofy to deep without ever feeling awkward. Mob Psycho knows when to make you laugh and when to hit you right in the feels. And that balance is what makes it so good. Where do I even start with this one? Imagine calling yourself a mad scientist as a joke, only to actually become one, in a world where every choice has real consequences. That's Okabe Rintaro, the man, the myth, the walking paradox. What starts off as some harmless experimentation with a phone and a microwave, yes, seriously, turns into a spiraling, high-stakes journey through time, trauma, and sacrifice. It begins like a light-hearted slice of life with quirky banter and eccentric energy. Then slowly, it shifts. And when it does, it grabs you and doesn't let go. Loss, regret, the burden of playing with time. Steins Gate isn't just about time travel. It's about what you're willing to risk to protect what matters. The build-up is slow, but when it pays off, it hits like a freight train of emotion and plot twists. No exaggeration, this anime rewires you. It's unforgettable, it's complex, and it's absolutely essential. And to close out the list, we've got one of my all-time favorite anime movies, A Silent Voice. This isn't just an anime movie, this is required viewing for anyone who calls themselves a real anime fan. I went in expecting some drama, maybe a few emotional scenes, and instead, I got a soul-crushing, life-changing experience that stayed with me long after the credits rolled. Let's be real, this movie hits different. It's not just sad for the sake of being sad. It's a deeply personal story about guilt, redemption, and trying to make peace with the mess you left behind. We follow Shoya Ishida, a kid who used to bully a deaf girl, Shoko, in elementary school. But karma hits hard. His friends abandon him, and he ends up consumed by shame and isolation. The crazy part, the story somehow makes you feel for him. And Shoko? She's one of the kindest, most soft-hearted characters I've ever seen in anime. The film doesn't hold back when it talks about depression, self-hate, and social anxiety. Even the way it visualizes Shoya's guilt, like seeing X's over people's faces because he thinks he's unworthy of connection, was brilliant, pure cinema. This isn't just a movie you watch and forget. It lingers. It forces you to think about your own mistakes, the people you've hurt, and whether you've made things right. This isn't just a movie. It's an experience. If you haven't watched A Silent Voice yet, seriously, go fix that. Just don't forget tissues. And that's a wrap on 10 anime I'm glad I gave a chance. If you're still here, you're a real one. Seriously, thank you for watching. Now it's your turn. Drop your top 10 anime of all time in the comments. I want to see what y'all are cooking with. Who knows? I might end up binging a few myself. And hey, if this video hits 100 likes, I'll drop part 2 with even more underrated anime you probably skipped. So smash that like button if you want more. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.